what's going on, family? Listen, we've had a lot of amazing guests on the show, and perhaps you may have never, ever listened to those episodes. So we wanted to present a new segment called SONW Classic, where we go back, we revisit those iconic conversations, and give those full episodes back to you. Sit back and enjoy this week's SONW Classic. The one and only queen of confidence, Erika, is in the building today. What's happening, fam?
Hey, what is good? I'm in the future. How you doing, Shawn?
And we gotta explain the future, right? Because we talk about the future, but let's break it down.
Yeah, so I live in Australia now, but I grew up in a little town outside of Boston, Massachusetts, to a single mother who was incredible. Unfortunately, she suffered with bipolar disorder, and it was a struggle because when she would get sick, it would be physical abuse. The neighbors would call the police. I would go to a foster home, and she would end up in a mental hospital. And so it really created a kid who felt unloved, a kid who I expressed myself through anger growing up. So I got in a lot of trouble. I was a troubled kid. When I was in foster care, there was a lot of sexual abuse and physical abuse and just a bit of confusion because I was the only child. It's funny that I talk about confidence now because I lacked confidence. I lacked everything. I was just like lost and didn't know who I was. I was in the military full time. I went to hair school at night, and then I was doing like Pitbull music videos, Jada Kiss, like music videos and bikini modeling. That's what I was doing. And I came to Australia. I had a couple bad relationships. And then I met my personal trainer, who was the only man I'd ever met that was like gentle and working on himself and had coaches and into Tony Robbins and personal development. I'm like, what is this? And he introduced me. He said, listen, if you want to work on your life, like you should start doing this if you want. And it was game over. I married him. We had babies. A year later, I was a totally different person. We invested about $120,000 on our growth. And I mean, put it on credit cards, refinanced houses, like did whatever we could because I was in so much pain. I had to heal it. And then I fell in love with it. And I started helping women do the same. Fast forward to where we are now.
How did you overcome that? And most importantly, how did you keep the mindset of like what seems like now a push forward mentality?
So many times I was like, I'm done. Like I'm cursed. Something's wrong. But there was an energy that always held me up. Like I couldn't drop even if I wanted to, but I wanted to so many times. I was just like, I'm not going to try anymore. And then an opportunity would come and I would take it. As much as I in my head wanted to give up and feel like I was cursed and damaged goods, there was something else. That's what I'll say. I don't know what it was. Now I believe it's spirit, God, whatever you want to call it, Buddha, Allah. You know, it was something on top of me, like holding me up, going, you are built for something else. This is not happening to you. It's happening for you. You will get your treasure. It's not right now. Right now is time to suffer. Right now is time to go through this, but you will get it. One of my mentors used to say, it's like an arrow. You're pulling an arrow back and you got to hold the tension. And you're like, I can't hold it. I can't hold it. I'm sweating. My fingers hurt. And I'm like, hold the tension. And if you could hold the tension right now, if you are out there going through it, hold the tension. And when you're ready to let it go, where's that arrow going to go? You got to be pulled back to go forward. The arrow's going to fly. If you're holding the tension a lot, if you've been holding it for a while, you're going to go even more forward. There's no way you could get worse than what it is right now. And I know that sucks. And I'm not trying to make it a cute Instagram quote because it sucks when you're going through it. Mm-hmm. But if you already made it this far, trust that you don't go backwards for nothing. Something is happening right now for you. There's a gift. There's a lesson I say there's a gift in the shit. It's like, I don't want to touch it. I'm like, touch it. You need to get your hands in there. There's a gift in there. They're like, oh, it's gross. It stinks. I don't want to do it. But I'm like, you don't get to get the gift if you're not willing to move through the shit. Like, that's why I say confidence feels like shit. Life can feel like shit, but there's gifts inside of it. Like there's gold to be mined if you're willing to just sit with this for a bit and look around your life and see what is trying to teach you and tell you. Oprah says that, right? Like your life is trying to teach you and tell you things, but you're not listening because you're like, poor me, why me? Oh, it's like, no, shift that mindset. Like this is up leveling you.
You talk about things that happen to you. Like, you know what? I got to get out of here. I got to go to Australia. For me, what that sounds like is the importance of being in an environment and being in an environment that you can flourish in. How important was that for you?
I think that's everything. You know, our environment really affects us. Unfortunately for me, I was seeking validation. When I was modeling, men thought I was pretty because I'm in a bikini or I'm in a music video. So I'm like, I must be worthy. And women in America, listen to me. If this is you, stop doing it. Stop doing it for free. Stop doing it for nothing just so people say you're pretty, because that's not enough. Like, that's not going to validate you. And so I feel like when I met that man in Australia, he was a white man, he was a tall man, he looked good and rich and skinny, and he looked like he wasn't damaged goods. So it was my lack of validation that was looking for an environment that was rich, that was proper, that was educated, that wasn't damaged. But he was a narcissist, let me tell you. But in the time where I didn't know to value myself. So I thought that's what I needed to become, and that's what I needed to get around.
You jump into this whole coaching space, right? What was the idea behind that, and how has that been for you, jumping to the coaching space, and most importantly, just attacking every thought about what confidence should look like?
So I was always doing confidence. I've been talking confidence for 15 years, but I was doing the external confidence. And what I realized through styling women, dressing them, their hair, their makeup, they looked immaculate, they looked amazing, but they would still look in the mirror and be like, I hate myself. And I'm like, what is going on? And I'm culling their wardrobe. We're talking about their body shape. I'm like, we need to cull your thoughts. We need to go to the inner wardrobe. We need to talk about the inside, like the onion that is our evolution of growth, and not the outside. So while I was doing my styling, I decided, I'm like, you know what? I don't want to talk about this. I don't want to talk about cotton and linen and horizontal stripes and the fact that you're a banana or a pear or whatever fucking body shape you're supposed to be. Like, it's ridiculous. I was like, women need the inner confidence. So I'm in the shower. I run downstairs. I'm soaking wet. And I'm like, I want to be a confidence coach. I got this thing that said, what does the queen of confidence do? She doesn't talk about linen and cotton and bananas and pears. She talks about confidence. So I ran downstairs. I said to my husband, I'm going to do this. And he's looking at me like, are you crazy? I said, I'm not going back to my corporate hair job. I was selling shampoo and conditioner. I'm not doing that. I'm not going to do styling. So I had clients, Shawn. I was packed out. My styling events were lit. Like, we were having champagne and hanging out, and it was amazing. And I have no money. I'm like, I'm refunding all the women who booked to come to the styling event. He's like, honey, we have no money. I'm like, I don't care. I'm not going to live out of because listen to the thing. You get the knock and you don't listen. And you get the knock and you don't listen. And I had the knock. And I'm like, I'm done. I'm listening to this. I'm going to follow my dreams. I want to help women. This is my time. I've already done the work for 9 years. I never wanted to help people while I was doing the work, by the way. Some people read a coaching book and they want to be a coach, and it's the worst part of our industry. Like, stop trying to help people when you ain't worked on your own shit, So I'm like, I'm going to do this. He's like, okay. I'm like, trust me. I'm American. I got the grit. We're going to do this. So he's like, all right. So I listened to Gary Vee's audiobook, Crushing It. Shout out to Gary Vee, because damn, he slapped me in the face. He was like,
that's a good one.
Oprah's not going to knock at your door going, hi, Erika, I heard you had a crazy story. Do you want to write a book and be on my show? No, nobody cares of who you are. You have to let people know. So I started creating content, doing YouTube, my podcast in my car. This was in 2018. We had no money, Shawn. We like, it was crazy. Like, I still have all the YouTube videos of me breastfeeding my newborn with my toddler. I was fat. I was overweight. You know what I'm saying? Like, no offense to fat, like, but I felt fat. I didn't feel cute. I was tired. I was in post-baby body. Like, everything was crazy, but I was hustling. I was creating content and no one was watching me. 2018, that first year, I said to him, we're going to run events. We ran live events, and I sold my coaching at the end of the live event. By the end of 2018, we had made $160,000 in the business. The following year, we built the online program because women online, my Instagram went off. I was building community. We made $500,000 year two. Year two in the business. This is year three. We're in year three right now. So when you look at the cost of you not showing up, and you look at the cost of you not doing what you want to do, like, what is that going to cost you? And hello, look at, you got a breath, you got air in your lungs. You are alive. 155,000 people every day do not wake up. So why the hell wouldn't you follow your dreams? You got to wait for a near-death experience for you to go, oh shit, my life is precious. I better do what I want to do, because we don't have time. Like, we think we have time. It's an illusion.
What can people expect? First off, tell us the title of the book and what can people expect from it?
Yeah, so the book is called Confidence Feels Like Shit: The Truth About Confidence and What It Really Takes to Create It. And what it really takes is your ability to move in the discomfort, your ability to move through the discomfort, do the scary shit. You feel like peas dripping down your leg, skid mark shit. Like, you're like, oh my God, I'm so scared. There's butterflies going off in your stomach. That. Are you willing to move through the discomfort? And when you fall down, and you will, it's not if you fall, you will fall. We all fall. Yep. How fast can you get back up? Like, confidence is not comfortable and it's not created in your comfort zones. So when you're saying, I want to be more confident, I want to put myself out there, that already is a move of courage. Courage is defined as your ability to take action while you are simultaneously shitting yourself. In the book, I break down confidence as a practice. So just like yoga, just like meditation, just like going to the gym, you don't lift weights once and then you're like swole, and you're strong. It's continuous practice. And so when I studied confident women for 10 plus years, and the most confident people, what are they doing? And so in the book, there's 5 steps, the 5 C's of creating confidence. And it really takes you through the 5 steps to right now, today, create confidence. And don't worry, if you fall down, you just get back up and you check where you are 1 to 5 and you jump back into the practice. And so if you commit to practicing, then you become confident and you can start doing the things that you want to do, as opposed to not identifying as confident. Like it's something you're not. It's like, it's an emotion you could feel like any other emotion. You just have to be willing to do the scary stuff.
The question of the podcast: school's over, now what? What advice would the queen of confidence, Erika, give?
And if this is you and you're out there and you're like, I don't know where to start, I don't know what to do, I feel inspired, but I don't know what to do with myself and my life, and you start thinking about all the things you're not, I want you to stop and just take a look at your life. Like, close down your eyes if you're not driving and you're safe to do it, and have a look at your life. Like, just scan through. And I would use the analogy of a comb. You got a comb through your life. Where do you get a knot? Where do you have a little dreadlock, a piece of gum that's been there for 7 years that you need to cut out, right? Like, where are you getting knots when you comb through your life? What area? Is it money? Is it finances? Is it your mindset? Is it your body? Is it relationships? You feel lonely and you want to have a relationship. What is it? Career, life, purpose. And when you find the big knot, you identify, this is the area that if I work on this big area that keeps coming back and hitting me like a boomerang. And what I would say is, think about what part of your life right now you're living that you're not happy with. And think about one thing, if you could do one thing, because I don't like all this like hustle mentality where we do 50 million things. Just one thing that you're unhappy with that you could do to make yourself happier. Do you hate your job? Are you working at Guitar Center even though you graduated from fucking Harvard? Probably. A lot of people do that shit. Yeah. They working at Guitar Center trying to pay off their loan and they're not even doing the thing they went to school for. Cool. Nice. Right? No judgment. Don't beat yourself up, because that's just you sitting in victimhood, right? Be like, okay, cool. I'm not happy with this. What do I need to do now? Identify. I need to find a job that's going to make me happy. Fantastic. How exciting. You hate your job. You could start looking for other jobs. You could start looking for opportunities. Just the looking and the thinking about how it's going to feel in a place that you love and a new job, like that should give you that energy. And you start moving towards something. The problem is when we're stuck and we don't do anything, we have no plan to do anything. It's exhausting. It drains our energy. We don't want, oh God, It's like you got to start focusing on what are you going to work on and what needs to happen. Because then you have a game plan. You have something, like Tony Robbins calls it, a compelling future. Like, you got something to look forward to. I'm going to find a job that I love. How exciting. I hate my job right now, but how exciting. So I think you really need to question, why am I doing what I'm doing? Am I doing it so my dad will be proud of me? I just want to tell you, your dad will never be proud of you. Okay? Seriously. Like, let me, news alert, he ain't going to be proud of you. Because he's going to be like, I wish you went to that school. I wish you bought that house. I wish you didn't do this. No one's ever going to be pleased. So the person you need to please is yourself. If you genuinely wanted to go to college and do that thing, go do it. Is it a self-sabotage? Are you scared that you're not good enough? Handle that. How will you know? Like Shawn said, you need to have the awareness. You need to know your mind. What are you thinking about? What are your thoughts? Who are you? Like, what do you think about yourself? Where are you unhappy? What area needs your attention? What do you need to do? One thing in order to move yourself out. And lastly, I would say the number one thing you could do to change your life is to manage your mind, is to become the security guard of your mind. What is coming in there? Who's hanging out up there? What's going on up there? What is serving you in here? What is not serving you? What are your top 3 thoughts that mess with you the most, that need to be kicked out of the nightclub? Your mind, right? And what needs to be put in there? If you don't know this, you're not going to have the results that you want. So this is the number one thing. Like, start thinking about what you're thinking about. Start paying attention to your thoughts, because your thoughts make you feel a way. And when you feel a way, you take an action or you don't take an action. And that's what gives you the results. Manage that mind of yours. check in with your life, comb through the areas that you're not happy with. It's super important that you don't just listen to information, that you commit to applying, right? Application over information. So whatever it is that you decide to do on your journey to creating confidence, know that you can do it. Know that it's up to you, and know that it's not something that's not accessible. When you decide you want to create confidence, you can.
Yo, what you think? I hope you enjoyed today's episode. I want to know what you learned. So if you wouldn't mind, would you take a screenshot of you listening to the podcast on your phone right now? Upload to your Instagram stories, tag me at Shawn Anthony _, and then let me know in that Instagram story what is one thing that you learned. I love hearing from you, my listeners, thought leaders, former or current students all around the world. Let me know, and while you're doing this, go inside the podcast app, subscribe, leave a 5-star review and a 5-star rating. Again, this helps us reach more people. And if you want to be a part of this mission, helping us change the world one person at a time, it makes a massive difference by you leaving a review. Thanks so much. I'll see you next week. And remember, dream it, believe it, go out and get it.